So we really believe at Neighborhood Capital Resources that we've got two constituencies. One is the investor, and certainly that's the primary constituency, is to make sure that no matter what we do with our opportunities, that we're delivering a, a great risk-adjusted return to investors. But in the same token, a a fundamental element of that is occupancy. And we believe that a big factor that drives occupancy is having a tenant base that doesn't turn over as much as might turn over on average if they're not treated well.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros Pod. I am Kristen, and I'm here with Jay Boersma. He has spent nearly 30 years in residential lending while owning investment properties since 1998. He is now the owner of Neighborhood Capital Resources, and I'm excited to get into this. We're going to talk about creating passive income for yourself. Thanks for being here, Jay.
Thank you for having me, Kristen.
So 30 years in residential lending, that's so impressive. Tell us about kind of how you got into the industry and what that has looked like.
Well, I moved to Arizona from Oklahoma 1993 and went to graduate school out here, and then got out of grad school and lived in Germany for a year, but then came back and thought that I would get into commercial lending. And at the time, that sounded sexy. I had no idea what that meant, but I had some interviews and had some offers, and the offers were like half of what I thought that I would be earning right out of the gate. But I had a friend whose mother had been an executive, or was at the time an executive for a national mortgage lending company. And he had gotten into the mortgage business like 6 months prior. And he said, "Hey, just team up with me. I'll teach you everything you need to know, and we'll be partners." I said, "Okay, let's do it." I didn't know when I was 25 that he didn't know everything after being involved with it for 6 months.
Yeah.
I thought he was a master. So that's what got me into the residential mortgage lending space. But I just fell in love with it. I knew from the third loan that we put together back then that it was something that I wanted to pursue deeply on an ongoing basis as a career.
Yeah, and you've been doing lending for so long. Are there any misconceptions or things that you wish more investors knew about borrowing money?
Well, I don't know. Lenders don't have a great reputation, and that's always been something that has been unfortunate. But I think that if lenders communicate well and quickly, then that's really what they need to be all about. And then hopefully they've got some loan products that are attractive to the market. But I think just that if there is a misconception, is that all lenders are kind of non-communicative and hard to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good thing to clear up. So when did you start kind of investing yourself? What did that journey look like?
Well, we've always been interested in real estate. So we started to invest in the late 90s, and we were involved in just a residential rental property. And that was interesting. But again, that was almost 30 years ago. We got into a situation. We had a partner. He was a great partner for a number of years, but we had some tenants that wouldn't pay unless I went to their place of employment once a week and picked up a weekly rent in cash because they were getting paid. I don't know if they were cashing their check or what, but it became a situation where we couldn't get the rent paid unless I showed up every Friday, every week to collect a week's worth of rent instead of monthly rent. So that was an interesting experience that didn't last long. And then we've invested in a lot of different kinds of real estate deals, but we were never landlords or owners of rental property again from around 1998 or 1999 until the year 2000 when we got into multifamily investing.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah. And what kind of led you into multifamily?
Well, so this was prior to COVID, so we had none of that experience yet. But I'd been in residential lending and been working for 25 years or so and was getting into my late 40s and was starting to think about what my life would look like at the end of my career and wanted to begin to try to visualize and make whatever I wanted to have happen toward 2030 begin to happen around 2020. So my idea was that we needed to start building some more passive income. And so we had a few $100,000 to invest. And, I didn't think immediately, okay, well, three or $400,000 is not going to create enough passive income to live on. But the good news is that investing that money in multifamily real estate and getting actively involved in multifamily real estate gave me a whole second career to embark upon that we really love.
Yeah, that's amazing. And kind of as you started with that, were there any learning curves? I feel like multifamily is such a big monster to take on. What were some of your learnings from, diving headfirst into it?
Well, without getting too in depth, and we could explore some of these things more deeply, but real estate, even going back these whole 30 years, you learn something new on every deal. With every loan or with every multifamily purchase, you're going to learn something new, and you hope that you do the things to mitigate the risk so that whatever learning experience you might have is a positive learning experience that doesn't cost anybody money. So that's always a goal, is to make sure that the learning experiences move forward that way.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
some of what's happened, some of the kind of the areas where we've learned is just, making sure that the underwriting is accurate. And so what that means is that we end up underwriting all of our opportunities on an ongoing basis. Like before the opportunity closes, while we're in the analysis phase and while we're in escrow on buying another asset, we're underwriting that property almost every day. I mean, rarely is it 4 days that goes by that we don't put a new date on the analyzer that we're looking at to identify, okay, this is the latest progress that we've made on analyzing this deal. So it's just continual analysis, continually discovering new elements about the opportunity that you're walking into.
Yeah, and you sound like you're very good at creating systems.
Well, my wife is excellent at creating systems and she's the organization queen. So we both love to underwrite. We both do different elements of the underwriting. She gets all the information in place. And then I look at all the kind of the variables and all the what ifs and kind of create ranges of what the outcomes might be. So, but she's the system person.
That's amazing. I mean, it's very important. I think that's something people struggle a lot with, is creating the right back end for their business.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
You couldn't be more, and just really just documenting everything. So one of the things that we do is we build teams. In multifamily investing, we have partners. We can't do this alone. So we have both active and passive partners. But one of the things that our active partners are constantly praising us for, and Tana deserves the accolades for that, but we really document everything and create Google files and places where really all the information involved in any of these opportunities is housed in a place where everyone can see it.
Definitely. I think that's really good advice. And with the full multifamily opportunities right now, what are you kind of seeing? Are you excited about that space?
Well, we're really excited about our primary market of Oklahoma, where Tana and I are both born and raised in Oklahoma, and we've been in Arizona now for 32 years, and we definitely have participated in the great real estate runs of Phoenix over the last 30 years with respect to residential lending, and we would love to be invested more in multifamily units in Arizona. But right now, the sellers still are holding these assets too dearly for us to be interested in buying much. We look at assets in Arizona every day, but what we're finding is that in Oklahoma and back all through the Midwest, properties or markets that weren't subject to, or that haven't recently been subject to an oversupply, are actually performing better. So we feel blessed that we're comfortable being in specifically Oklahoma, but we're interested in all of Oklahoma's neighbor states and then up into the Midwest as far as market opportunity.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I think that's a really good thing to highlight. I think people get a little confused about the market, especially right now. There's a lot of information being thrown at everyone. But it really is segmented. There's different markets that are performing, all the time. There's always a market that's performing well. And I know a big foundation of your, as you get into multifamily is treating your tenants very well and kind of that personal touch. So I'd love for you to talk a little bit more about that.
So we really believe at Neighborhood Capital Resources that we've got two constituencies. One is the investor, and certainly that's the primary constituency, is to make sure that no matter what we do with our opportunities, that we're delivering a great risk-adjusted return to investors. But in the same token, a fundamental element of that is occupancy. And we believe that a big factor that drives occupancy is having a tenant base that doesn't turn over as much as might turn over on average if they're not treated well. Okay, so what we do at Neighborhood Capital Resources is we focus on providing a safe, comfortable environment for our tenants that they can live the life that they want to live while they're there.
And how do you foster that?
Well, a couple ways. So maintenance is a fundamental element of that. A lot of operators have slow and not good maintenance, but we're on the spot addressing maintenance issues very quickly. But also we do events and just find ways to show the tenants that we care about them by building community at our assets.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are some of your tips? I know people have different strategies in terms of the units and how to make them, the best possible for you to get a good return, but then also the tenant to have a great environment to live in. What are some of your tips? Do you have certain amenities that you either take out or put in these units?
Well, so there's both interior and exterior amenities, and so we do dog parks. That's kind of our thing. We allow tenants to have dogs at all of our assets, dogs and cats. America's become more and more pet crazy over the last 20 years, we think, and so we want them to be able to have their pets. But in general, when we purchase an asset, we're going to do what we can to bring the rent to the top of the market for that asset. And that usually or frequently requires interior upgrades to cabinetry, countertops, appliances, flooring, lighting, all of those things.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yes, amazing. And what are your best tips for identifying great properties, especially around the Oklahoma area?
Well, so we look at value add where we believe that we can improve the property and then increase the rent. And so a tip for that would be, and on all of the opportunities that we've had, the market rent has been, or the rent at the property has been below market rent, even based on the condition of the interior and the exterior of the asset. So there's been a little bit of runway, a little bit opportunity for us to increase the rent even without doing the upgrade. But then once we do the upgrade, we can increase it even more and force appreciation by adding value to the units.
Yeah, absolutely. And, what kind of people, I know that you work with investors and you help them create great opportunities. What kind of people do you work with?
We work with all kinds of different investors, but many of them are business owners, people that have some interest in real estate, obviously, and in private equity investments, but really just anyone who's interested and has some capital to invest. We're happy to talk to those people.
That. Well, to kind of wrap this up, what would be a piece of advice that you wish you learned earlier in your career that you can share with everyone today? Maybe just some early road bumps you had that you can kind of share what happened and how you got through it.
I would say that just to make sure that the people that you're partnering with are really the people that you want to partner with, both from a passive investor standpoint, do your homework on who the operators are that you might invest in their opportunities. But then as an active partner, you have to do the same thing. And so you've got to go beyond the basics of the background check and that, but really spend some time making sure that that your long-term goals are in alignment so that you don't step off on the wrong foot right out of the gate.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's great advice. Well, tell everyone where to find you and how to get involved with Neighborhood Capital Resources.
Well, my phone number, I'm a telephone guy, and my phone number is 480-206-8659. And our email address is NC, as in neighborhood capital, so ncresources.us.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here, Jay.
Totally my pleasure, Kristen.
And thank you everyone for listening. Hope you got some inspiration for your own business, some great takeaways. Definitely check out Neighborhood Capital Resources, and we will see you back next time. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.